Okay, I have to be quick because I had to turn off the AC to record this. So we were discussing having a strange but true story. Okay. Well, I was, let's see, this would have been around 2001, 2002, I think. 2001. I got into Haitian voodoo, and I was attracted to it because the story is, the gods came down and lived as humans, right? And so that really struck a chord with me because I didn't know about that Jesus did that, right? Because I didn't understand that the whole story with Jesus. I didn't know the truth about it. And so I was looking into it, and I set up a small altar to, because I was terrified of death because I had been recently widowed when I was 27. And that's even weird too. My first husband was killed at 27, 7 days after his 27th birthday, on the 27th of the 7th month of 1997. So, anyway, that was tragic and weird. And okay, so I was terrified of death and all this stuff, and I thought, I'll overcome death by let's interact with the dead, right? So I thought voodoo will help me overcome my fear, right? This is editing, Rebecca. So I know some people get offended when they see white people practicing voodoo, and I just want to let you know those gods do not care what color your skin is, because your blood is red, and that's all that matters. So anyway, the first time I set up an altar to Baron Samedi, of all people, and on the first night after setting up the altar, he appeared in my room, and he was like real skinny, dark skinned black dude wearing a tuxedo, didn't have a shirt on, just like had the vest and stuff. There were two black ladies in a trance on either side of him. They were dressed in white. This is editing Rebecca again. I forgot to precede this part of the story with an explanation. Back then, I had trained for years to do out-of-body experiences and lucid dreaming, so it was very easy for me to step out of the body and interact with spiritual beings. So that's what's happening in this part of the story. I was like, what are you doing in my room? That was my first instinct, was like, how'd you get in here? Like, who are you? He hit the ground with his staff and he said, we need strong white women for the movement. And I said, get out of my room. And then I sat up in bed again. So I used to train in lucid dreaming, so I was lucid and having an out-of-body experience and encountering him. And so I took the altar down and put it away. But during that time, me and a friend of mine we spent like an entire week doing rituals. Each day was for something different. We went down to Lake Michigan, where the planetarium was, and the waves were like 10 to 15 foot waves, and we were bound and determined, and it's not going to stop us. And shadow people tried to push me into the water, I would have drowned. So God was still protecting me, even though I was being a fool and running away from him. So the story I really wanted to tell was a couple years later. This would have been in 2002, 2001, yeah. So I got back into it, and I decided I would interact with Legba, and he's like the guardian of the crossroads and doorways, and he's like a gatekeeper. And for some reason I was drawn to him. I don't know why. Maybe because he's kind of this mischievous little character. And I was not the kind of person that was going to buy animals to have someone remove parts so that I could have my wishes granted. And I just was like, I'm going to do it my way. I had huge altars covered in candy, toys. They were like works of art. They took up the entire entryway of the house I was living in at the time with an ex-fiance. And so, oh, no, I wasn't living with him at that time. So I was riding my bicycle home to get ready to go to a party, and I had an accident at a crossroads, and I should have died or been a paraplegic. I'll show you what happened. I flew off my bicycle, landed on my chin, my feet. I was facing the way that the soles of my feet were facing, and I broke my jaw in 4 places, here, 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 here. So it was like, yeah, I guess that would have been 6 pieces, because it was the hinge, this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, and the hinge. Yeah, so the god of the crossroads tried to kill me at a crossroads. That's the way I look at it. And you guys remember Christopher Reeve, like the accent he had? Mine was similar, but the back of my head was touching my back. That's how far back my head was. I should have died. So it's a miracle that I can even walk today, that I wasn't a paraplegic. And God was looking out for me even when I was running from him. So Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. That's the story for today.